of love, waiting patiently, thinking when we get married, everything will be fine. Now, we are married with 3 kids, yet I'm being abused. Currently, I have a problem with my left ear because I was slapped and beaten mercilessly 3 days ago. What should I do now, Soul Sisters?
Welcome back. We are still on Class 91.3 FM and the show is Soul Sisters. Seated here with me again is Mama Ba. My name is Esther and I'll forever be your host. Mama Ba, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So how do we dissect this topic? And hearing from what she said, you could imagine she's really going through a lot. But before we go deeper into her story, how would you define abuse in relationship?
Okay, thank you. I just want to say good evening to our viewers or people who are hearing us through voice. First and foremost, when we say something is an abusive, and we are talking about an abusive relationship, it is a term that we used to give to a relationship where one person exerts his authority, power, or let's say control over one another. Whether that is in a negative form.
Yeah.
Yes, if somebody does that, it's really an abusive thing. And most of the times we narrow it to it being physical. But it goes beyond that. If somebody is being abused, it can be either emotional, it can be psychological, it can be financial, it can be sexual. It's a lot, but most often time, like I said, it is being narrowed to only being physical. And then men suffer with emotional abuse more, and women also suffer from physical abuse more.
Okay, so the lady's story. She married at the age of 25 years, and looking at what she's going through, what do you make of the story?
You see, most of the times we only go into relationship with this ideology that we are in love, but it goes beyond that. I always tell people that you should look beyond love when you enter into a relationship, and the mistake we do is that whenever we are going into a relationship, we don't do a background check of the partner we are going to be in a relationship with. A lot of people in their lifetime, it can be male and female, in their lifetime they had a family that is being ripped apart. They sometimes face a single parenting. Sometimes they have bad relationship in their past, and it's hard for them to just forget it. So most often time they just bring all this thing into their new relationship. So if you are not somebody who goes into relationship to really assess the person you are going to be in a relationship with, you will end up being in a relationship with somebody who is already hurt. And many people come into relationship with already pain in them that they tend to hurt people with it. So I tell people that it goes beyond just being in love. You have to do a lot of background check before being with somebody.
Spot red flags in an early relationship?
It's very, very glaring.
Especially those who think they are in love, especially the young ones, 21, 22, 23. When you advise them, they think they're in love, so they are not ready to listen to you. How do you spot an early red flags?
It's glaring. Like I said, it's very glaring, but people ignore it because they think they are in love. Most of the thing happens during the early stages in the relationship. And when it happens, you have somebody who is, like I said, who will abuse you emotionally. They use words. They insult you, they denigrate you, they beat you, they slap you. And this thing, they start from the very onset of the relationship. When this thing starts, don't think you get a person into a relationship before.
But there are some guys that they are not going to just exhibit this kind of trait that you just mentioned. I know some will just hide their character because maybe they love this lady, they want to be with this lady. Right as soon as they get married to this particular lady, then that's when you see their real characters. Some too, you see it. So what I'm trying to say is that what is the early red flag? Because what I believe in, some men you wouldn't say it. You being a man, what are some of the red flags that you think those abusive guys will exhibit, even though he's trying to hide it.
Let's not narrow it to only guys. Women also abuse men in a
I know,
relationship.
but I want us to talk about.
Yeah,
let's,
we'll talk
let's
about.
dwell on the guys. We'll just dive into.
I really understand you, but okay, so let's do it like you want. You see, like I said, some of the early red flags are, like I said, anger management. People are angry in a situation where you should know that this is something we have to work on before getting into a relationship, but people don't actually really pay attention to it. Another thing is people sometimes they are stingy. It's red flag because financial abusive is also part of all these things.
We're going to dive more into, but I want us to concentrate on the lady's issue. She said she has been slapped and it has really affected, her
Left ear.
from the left ear.
Yeah.
So, what advice are you going to tell? She has 3 children with this guy.
Okay.
I know she's listening to us right now. So, what are you going to tell her? Because I think she's going through it and she has had enough. She married very early. What do you want to tell this beautiful young lady?
I will not subscribe to any man hating a woman. It is a no, no, no. Reason is women should be adored. They should be loved. They should be cared for. So when you hate a woman, it shows how incomplete you are as a man. You don't hate a woman. Yes, the women are very troublesome. They have a way. I'm coming. Women in nature, they are troublesome. Look, if you have a woman who doesn't trouble you, then it means that you are not dating the right woman. Women naturally have this thing with them
you
that
have to break their troublesome because I'm not women are troublesome.
Women will trouble whether you like it or yes, they will. It is part of their DNA. They will, but God has given us that thing to be able to overcome them. But sometimes but it's something we have to go with it. So with this lady's issue, I don't subscribe to what the man is doing. And I'm not going to sit here and also say that she should quit the marriage because Bible says what God has put in together, let no man put asunder. I'm not going to sit here and say that, she should quit.
I believe it's not every marriage that was put by God. At times, men do make mistakes. They do make mistakes. Do you understand?
But you went for a vow?
Yes, you went for a vow. So what you are trying to say is that what God has joined. At times, you yourself can join somebody's daughter together with you for you to become one.
You don't understand
what I'm trying to say is that don't make it straight in a way that what God has joined together. At times, we don't even pray about the person that we are with. We don't even get to know the person very well, the red flags, his past, relationships and all that. I'm not saying she should move out because she has 3 kids with a guy. Sorry. What do you tell this lady?
So I will entreat you to allow me to flow here.
I will do that.
First and foremost, before anybody gets married, it is 2 families that sit together and accept it. One, they accept whatever is put together here and it is tied here, according to Matthew chapter 19, it is accepted in heaven. So when 2 parents have sat down and have agreed that we are giving our daughter to you, God has agreed on it. So we cannot sit here and say that she should quit the marriage. Secondly, she went into it and she is facing it. The thing is, if some of these things come up, the first thing you should do is to quickly call the attention of both parents that this is what is happening. Yes, there are marriages that people don't speak out and at the end of the day they die as a result of being the other partner being abusive. Because of that, she should quickly call the parents, tell them this is what is happening. Let them sit the guy down and tell him, hey, you have no right beating anybody in this relationship. Yes, you are a man, you are in charge, you are in control. But you don't beat a woman to the extent that you have even slapped her that even she's having problem with the left ear. This is just bad. It is just below the belt. I, for one, have never hit a woman in my life. And I will never do it for any reason. You know why? Because when a woman is troublesome, what I usually do is that I leave the home or I leave the room, go somewhere, sit, and then just relax. So that I don't have any issue of trying to hit you, because I know this has to do with a lot of emotions. Women have a way of just triggering everything in a man, but don't go to the extent of trying to beat a woman just because you think you are angry. You have to manage your anger in a certain way that the woman will see that you are a man, and a real man don't hit women. So my advice to her is that she should call the parent. They should sit down, sit the guy down, talk to him, and then that is the first point of call. And she, being a woman always have a way of getting into her man, and every woman has that power. I'm telling you. So with that, she can bring or subdue that man and also tame the man because she has it and she can control her man. It's just that she cannot find the right click, and that is the problem.
That is the problem.